Hi there, this is Srikanth Sari. So in this lesson we are going to learn about the various ways to add a PHP code or embed a PHP block of code inside your HTML page, and also we are going to look the various ways to comment our PHP code. So the commenting your code is is also a good habit here. Okay, so if you are working in a team or a group, if each other person looks into the other person's code to verify, to verify or test, or for whatever the reason, so well documented code is always appreciable when you are working in a team environment. Okay, so let me launch the IDE. So we know that we are using NetBeans 8.0, which always takes a minute or a couple of seconds to load. Okay, NetBeans, this takes some moment since my system is very ancient here. Okay, NetBeans has got loaded here. So first let us create a new project here. Let's say file new project, PHP application, and let's name our project as PHP comments. Okay, so directory is not empty, PHP comments here. Okay, so let's make the remaining options as usual. Okay, so the NetBeans, as we know that the NetBeans always makes a good creates so NetBeans always creates a blank project here. Okay, so blank project template. So already I have done this project in the previous example, so that's the reason. So first let us go to the project section here, and so let's remove whatever we have here. Okay, so let's add up let's do it from scratch. Okay, so HTML, opening HTML and closing HTML here. Slash HTML. Okay, so also let's add a top type, which is very essential for the browser to understand the version of HTML it's going to render here. Okay, so let's have a head section followed by a title. Okay, so let's have a title as PHP comments. Okay, so in the same way, to come to the body section here, let's have a body and let's give some color to our body here. Let's say cyan, or let's say tan. Okay, so we have a nice color for our body, and also let's have an h1 tag, so which gives some heading to your HTML page. So here our intention is to learn so PHP tags, different PHP various tags, PHP tags and comments. Okay, so let's align our title. So although it's a bad practice to enter all the attributes within the HTML tags, so to keep it simple, so here we have adopted this kind of programming here. Okay, so here the first and the most common way the world follows to add a PHP code or embed PHP code is this here. Okay, so opening angle bracket question mark followed by PHP, then question mark followed by the closing angle bracket here. Okay, so this is the most common way which is used almost universally, which is also a standard nowadays to write PHP code inside inside PHP code inside HTML page here. Okay, so here let's have a small echo statement. Let's say let's have a message like most common way. So most common way to add PHP code inside a HTML page here. Okay, so this is the most common way. Let's put a semicolon to say that the statement is enough here. Okay, so the another way to add PHP code inside, so these are called as PHP tags, as we have seen in the previous lesson. So another way to represent the tags or to write PHP code inside a HTML page is this here. Okay, if you omit the PHP, the keyword or the word PHP, and if you just say opening angle bracket question mark and closing angle bracket, so this is the other way. So also you can have an echo statement. Echo. Let's have a message here. Another way of so entering PHP inside HTML page here. Okay, so this is another way. So by default, this kind of tag is made. It's not available. Okay, so to make it available, we need to do one thing. Okay, so as soon as you install this XAMPP, so this gives an php.ini file here. Okay, so that ini file sits in the C drive. So if you are using a Windows machine, so here I am using a Windows machine. So in my C drive, I have a folder which consists of all the installation files of this XAMPP web server. So if I go into that, and if I go to PHP folder, and here I have an .ini file here. Okay, so if you go down a bit, here you find this .ini file here. Okay, so this file consists of all settings and configurations of the PHP engine, which is running in the XAMPP web server. Okay, so if you search for this option here, okay, so if you search for shorthand, search short open tag here. Okay, so this is the option, so which is okay, so which needs to be turned on. Okay, so by default or else by default it's in off mode here. Okay, short open, else you can search in this way also, short open tag. So by default, this short open tag option in the line number 226 is turned off by default here. Okay, so if you go to your php.ini file and you need to make it on here. Okay, so in my system I have made it on earlier. So the same thing you need to do is go into your php.ini file, which sits inside this XAMPP PHP folder here. Okay, so with your favorite notepad editor, like Notepad++, or in this case I am using Sublime Text, which is very handy. So you can use browse to here this option and you can turn it on here. Okay, so only in that way. So if you make it off, this is not going to work here. Okay, so that's the reason you always make sure that if you want to use the short opening tags to write the PHP code, so you need to make it on all the time. Okay, so in the php.ini file. Okay, in the same way, so now if you run this small tiny PHP page, so you get your output in the browser window here. So before that, you make sure that your Apache web server is up and running here. Okay, so it's taking a moment to load since my system is very ancient. So if you go to Chrome browser, the output of your PHP small tiny PHP file, so it just outputted both the echo statements in which you have written two different blocks of PHP, two different blocks using the two different PHP tags here. Okay, so if you make a BR tag here, so it will be more understandable. So again, if you run your application, so you get both of them in a different two different lines here. Okay, so in the same way, the another way to embed a PHP code inside your HTML pages is using the script tag here. So script language is equal to in double quotations PHP. Okay, and the closing script tag once again, and the closing script tag here. Okay, and this closing script tag. Right? So if you say something like this, this is also another way. So by default, with this PHP tag and this PHP tags are turned on by default. Okay, so the rest of the tags we need to turn it on by going to your php.ini file here. Okay, so also you can say an echo statement here. Echo. So PHP block using script tag here. Okay, So another, whatever the message you wanted, some stupid silly message. Again, if you run this small application, so you get side by side. Let's make use of this br tag, which you have learned in the previous lesson. So let's say br. Again, if you run this small tiny PHP page, so you get that too in a different line here. Okay, so this is another way of writing PHP, embedding PHP code here. Okay, so far we have seen three kinds of ways. The fourth and last way is to use the ASP style tags here. Okay, so here we have less than angle bracket, so opening angle bracket and percentage symbol, and also percentage symbol and closing angle bracket here. Okay, so this is another set of tag which is used to embed PHP code. So this is all these things, so very old ways. Okay, so the mostly the world prefers to add or to embed PHP code inside HTML page, so only in this way here. Okay, so rest of all ways are very traditional, and you rarely find in any PHP code using this kind of tags here. Okay, to embed the PHP code. So here also you can have an echo statement here. Let's say PHP block using ASP style tag. Okay, the name we are saying here ASP style tag because this is derived from active server pages in from Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft's language ASP uses this kind of tags to write the ASP code. Okay, so the same thing were derived by the PHP developers to in the form of a tag to embed the PHP code inside an HTML page here. Okay, so these are the four different ways. So you can embed HTML code inside HTML page. Okay, sorry, PHP code inside HTML page. So this is the most common and most universally adapted thing, tags to add PHP code. The rest of all are optional and very traditional. Okay, so also you need to keep in one thing in mind if you want to use a short open tag and opening and ASP style tag, you need to go to this php.ini file which sits in the XAMPP directory in your C drive. So if you go to your C drive and if you go to your XAMPP directory and if you go to your PHP and you have browsed down a little bit, here you have php.ini file here. Okay, so php.ini file. So if you open that file in your favorite notepad or notepad or Sublime text, so if you want to activate ASP tag, okay, so ASP style, ASP style, somewhat you need to browse that. Okay, so short opening tag and also ASP style tag. So if you browse that, so also by default those options were turned off in your so you find here. Okay, so line number 230, so you have this ASP style tags were by default they will be turned off here. Okay, so you need to turn them on, so in order to make them use in your PHP. So if you want to make this ASP style tags to embed your PHP code inside an HTML page, so you need to go to this php.ini file and you need to turn it on. Okay, so in my case I have turned it on previously since I am using those kind of tags for demonstration purpose here. Okay, so that's the basic stuff about the various ways to embed a PHP code inside an HTML page. So now coming back to the various ways to comment. So let's take another PHP block here. Okay, so PHP, closing PHP. Okay, so the first style of comment, the first way to comment your code is a single line comment here. Okay, so first you can have single line comments. There are two ways to have a single line comment. So first one is this, a double slash, and you can write like this, my single line comment so goes like this here. Okay, So in the same way, you can have another kind of single line comment, which is by using this pound symbol here, okay, or hash. So this is also my single line. This is also comes under single line comment. My single line comment here, okay. So the third way to comment your code in PHP is you can make use of this multi-line comments here, okay. So if you're familiar with C, C++ or Java, so you might have seen this kind of commenting here, okay. So let's have a small stupid message. My multi-line comments goes in more than one line, okay. So this is the way to comment your PHP code in multi-line here, okay. So the commenting is always a good practice. To add these comments are just ignored, okay. So I can have an echo statement at the beginning, comment PHP block. Let's say some stupid silly message in this block of code here, okay. So PHP block, so with comments, okay. So if you run this run this PHP file again in the browser here, okay. So you just see all these comments were always ignored by the PHP engine which sits in the Apache web server, okay. So whatever the comment is just for used to increase the readability, so that they are always ignored by the PHP engine, and they are only used for well documented PHP code here, okay. So those are the three kinds of comments. We have two kinds of single line comments in PHP, and we have one line of multi-line, only one type of multi-line comments in PHP, okay. So to summarize once again, so what we have learned in this lesson, there are 4 different ways to embed PHP code inside your HTML pages. So the first one foremost is universally accepted opening angle bracket question mark in PHP. The second one is short open tag, and the third one is using the script tag, which we are very familiar if you use JavaScript, and the fourth one is ASP style tag. Okay, so why not just comment, since we have learned about comments here, let's write a small comment in each and individual PHP block here. So let's say most commonly used. So most commonly used PHP tag, okay. Let's write another comment here using this pound symbol. Short open tag, let's say short open tag, and let's have another comment here. Now let's say script tag can also be used to write or to embed PHP code inside HTML pages here, okay. So last but not the least, so ASP style, tags are very traditional, and not used so very often, okay. So by commenting like this, if the third person looks into your code here, so he understands in a better way so what you were intended to do with various PHP commands here, okay. So once again, if you run this application of writing all these comments, you get the code with undisturbed way here, okay. So this is the basic stuff about the various ways to enter a PHP code and also various ways to comment your PHP code here, okay. So see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.